So we're just picking up the KA and the stepway from Car Care Centre after MOTs. So the MOT results are in. Obviously we've got passes, but let's see what needed to be done beforehand. So on the Sandero, windscreen wipers are not clear, windscreen, headlamp levelling device inoperative, headlamp to no near side. So not a lot, basically the front near side headlamp and a windscreen wiper. Nice result. And on the KA we've got a pass. So we've got, so yeah, on the Dacia, the guys, I got the headlight for them and they fitted it for me, saved me some time. So we've got a pass without any advisories at all on the Dacia, which is nice. So just need to sort the body work out of it. On the KA we've got a fail with an exhaust, a minor leak of the exhaust gas at the rear, so back box, and registration plate deteriorated but not like to be misread front. I thought did actually ask them to put a number plate on there, so I might have to order one of those up. But yeah, again, you know, really you've only got the exhaust there, is anything at all, and you'll have to have a look at that and see what I think. Prior to that, it needed a headlamp, position lamp not working, headlamp aim too high, and registration plate does not meet requirements on the rear. So all they had to do was put a number plate on it and adjust the headlamp, put a bulb in and adjust the headlamp, and that got a pass as well. So oh, here we go, cooling fan noisy and vibrating, clutch arm very noisy. So they put some on notes on there, but they haven't put that on the actual MOT itself. But we know it's got a squeaky clutch arm, don't we? So I need to have a look at doing that. So yeah, on the Dacia, I sent them down a headlight. I got it off eBay for £100 and they fitted that for me. They had to take the bumper off to do it and said that these clips are pretty bad. He said basically if you can get it tight one side, it pops out the other side because the clip at the front is pretty poor. So we'll get it off and put the new clips on it, and then we need to sort that door jamb adjustment and then just give it a really good clean. It'll actually be ready to go then with an advisory free MOT. The KA, we've got to try and quieten that noisy clutch arm down, and we've got a spare fan on the shelf for a KA Fit 500, so I can swap the fan out on it and solve that. So I should be able to deal with the two advisories on that and obviously change the front number plate. But I think overall the two MOTs for cars of this age were pretty damn good, to be fair. No note of corrosion at all on the KA, which you get a lot with the Fit 500s and the KA at that age. So no note on that, nothing about any wearing boots or like trap rod ends or anything like that. And yeah, clean as a whistle on this one, wasn't it? So I'm quite happy with the results off that. We can put both these cars out our door knowing that they're good solid little motors. You know, it's really just cosmetic things with both of them, isn't it? And you know I'll allow for that in price. If I can't sort the things out, I'll allow for it in price. I think with this one, I mean down this side it's pretty good, but you've got this scratch here. I'm just going to get a touch-up pen. It's not going to be, you don't want to start painting all these panels. A lot of that will buff out. It's only fairly serious there. So I think once we get that door jamb sorted, I've got the spare wheel trim, and it is a wheel trim, guys. I know a lot of you, I said in an earlier video, thought it was an alloy, but it's a wheel trim. Convincing one, but it is a wheel trim. Right, so the only disadvantage of bringing them back down to the car care at Barnstable rather than the one at South Melton is I've got to get the cars back. So Adrian's taking one on the trailer, and I'll bring the Dacia back on my trade plates and get them both back there, and then he'll bring me back because he's got to come back to Barnstable anyway, and I'll be able to hop back in the caddy, which I'm still using solidly. Let's crack on. So yesterday's test drive home was in the Kia. Now it's got its new MOT on it. I went and picked it up last night, drove it home and back. Didn't need a lot for its MOT, did it? Very minor things. I think it was a trap rod end. I think we did some front pads and wiper blades. I realised I hadn't actually given it a proper detail yet, so today I'm going to clean the engine bay, give it another clean, do a walk around video on it, which I haven't done yet. I think this is a cracking car. It drove absolutely perfectly, guys, absolutely perfectly. I think for under 3k this is a really good buy. It's got all the toys you need, the aircon, the auxiliary input. The inside's like brand new. As I said, I haven't actually given it a proper clean yet, but it's already like brand new anyway. It just drives real. I mean, I think, yeah. So I mean, if this was a Fiesta with, what has it got on it, 59,000 miles on it, on a 2011, we'd probably be talking nearly £4 grand. but this is, I've got it up for 2795. A really nice metallic, so I'm surprised it hasn't been jumped on a little bit earlier. I know people sort of look down their nose a little bit at the Kia Rios, but I'm finding them bulletproof. Touch wood, as a general rule, you don't see them back for anything. Anyway, let's crack on, give it a good clean and get a good walk around video on it, because I can sell it well in the video. So everything on the Rios had a thorough clean again. As before, she's come up pretty mint, to be fair. So time to do a quick service on her. So we'll do oil filter, air filter and oil, and get that stamped up in the book, and then it'll be all ready to go, because it's got the brand new MOT, which I believe is advisory free. I'll double check, and it'll have the fresh service done, and it'll have had its full valet, so it'll just be ready for its new owner then. So I put a few bids into BCA today. Just had a notification I've won one. I have won a Hyundai i20 1.4 active on a 62 plate for, let's have a look what the total price is. Total price is £3,329. It's only done 36,000 miles on a 2012. And Auto Trader says the book for it is 5480. So on the face of it, I've got a 2k margin in it, but the question is, one, do they really sell for that price? I think probably 4995 is probably where it would sell within my marketplace, I'd say. I can't remember. Should we have a quick look at what the MOT is on it? Right, so it's got an MOT till January 2022. Last MOT was advisory free after having failed for a shock absorber leak. If we go back, all the MOTs seem to be pretty good. Other than that, doesn't seem to be anything serious there. Mileage all ties up. So why have I got it that cheap then in the current marketplace? Let's have a quick check. I can't remember for the life of me now whether that had a report or not on it. But it doesn't look like it's got a guarantee on it, like a BCA assured or anything. I'd be amazed if I bought one without one. Alright, so there was an essential check on it, not a BCA assured, but an essential check, which means that it runs and drives and all those kind of things. Doesn't mean the clutch is great. It doesn't mean that it couldn't still have an engine problem if it's running and driving, but it isn't smoking, those kind of things. So it's just going to be a gamble and see when it comes. You don't often get a car with that much margin in it from BCA, so yes. What did I miss? It was a grade 3. It's got that there's previous poor paint on a couple of the panels. The tailgate's got a bit of rust on it, and an outer door handle was broken. Oh, that's why I got it cheap then. I missed that. So we'll have to do a little bit of paint on it by the looks of it to get that kind of money for it. Door handle. So we need to fix the door handle. Looks like it all needs a good machine polish. It's got a lot of scratching on it. Previous poor paint. To be honest, previous poor paint is normally something a consumer wouldn't really notice. It's just the trained eye of someone at BCA spotting that there's a poor finish. Mind you, look, there's actually looks like there's some little spotting or something in that. Again, we'll have to have a look at it when it comes in. But it probably won't merit doing that kind of stuff, but fixing that bit of rust is going to be worth doing. And then, like I say, sell it under book. So a quick look at what they're actually going for on Auto Trader at the moment. There you go, one in Plymouth with 39,000 miles on it is full service history, 2 owners from new and perfect, is 4,960, which is a good price. 91,000 miles, that's probably a bit irrelevant. 63,000 miles, 4,4. 71,39. 4,3 on 38,000 miles. 4,5 on 38,000 miles. 6,4 on 33,000. That's an automatic. I think, as I said, I think it's possibly only a 4,495 car. So that would make it, I think Auto Trader is adjusting it for the miles, but I think that I think they're a bit ambitious there. I think to sell in the current market, I would probably be, that's a private seller. Yeah, I should really filter these by trade, shouldn't I? Excuse the clanging, it's the door. I should really filter this by trade to do a fair comparison, because obviously I'm going to be given warranty and all that kind of good stuff. So what we got down here, what's the lowest mileage one? Trade. Yeah, 5 grand, 39,000 miles. I think 4995. I'm thinking 4995 if I go around and do all of the bodywork. If I don't go around and do all of the bodywork, just let it go for 4.5, and someone's got a good buy. Mind you, can't remember what my intuitive again for it. 3, yeah. So 4.5 would be acceptable if I don't need to do a lot to it. See, that'll do the bodywork. We'll see. Well, when it comes in, we'll have a look at it. So cracking on with a note, because we're going to be using a 2K lacquer, and we've got about 4 areas that we're painting, I need to get it all prepped and masked off in one go, and then go around and do my bits of colour and then do my lacquer, because obviously the lacquer hardens off in the can with a 2K. So I want to get it all prepped in advance. Starting off with the rubbing strip down this side. It was quite badly marked all along here, but after going over with compound first, a lot of it was just on the surface. It's only the very edge back here that actually had any damage. So I have given that a rub down with some, what did I do, 240, 400, 600 on that. And that's as far as I'll go with that. Keyed up the rest of it with a Scotch pad. And what I'll do is colour it, fade it out along there, and then lacquer the whole thing later on, just to tidy it up. Doesn't have to be crazy good down here, does it? It's just a case of tidying it up a little bit. All doing it by hand because I haven't got a compressor here yet, so I can't use the pad. I'm gonna have to just do it all by hand, old school again. I've got to get this dent out here. I've got this low spot here. I've got some fiberglass filler for this because it's a little deeper than I'd like to go with normal filler, but it doesn't merit getting the puller out and doing all that kind of stuff to it. It's just not that value of a vehicle. It's going to only have to be about 5mm thick, but I'll take the paint off here and use fiberglass filler because it'll adhere better to the metal, and also there'll be no shrinkage on the fiberglass filler, or very little, whereas if you did that all with filler it would probably shrink and get you some cracking later on. So we've got a basic shaping now with the fiberglass filler where the dent was. As I said, it's going to have normal filler over the top to really smooth it out, but we're getting close. We've certainly got the dent out. We're starting to even out the panel gap. So a little bit more work on that. Get some, like I say, get some normal filler over the top. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to use the fiberglass filler there because it won't shrink like normal filler. Won't be absorbent like normal filler. So we'll only have to have a skin of filler there now. Gone around the rest of the car. I'm going to touch in the bits on the bumper there, but on the corner here I've got my plastic filler in. So giving it a sand and then put my plastic filler on very thinly just to cover up the scratches. So that'll all now need a sand. So I put it on very thinly just to cover the unevenness of some of those scratches. So that all needs sanding down. I've done this corner as well. So I'll leave them for the moment, probably finish off getting this shaped correctly. What I'll probably do is stuff some card in down here so I don't get any more filler in the door gap, and then put the filler in up against that. And I'm going to have to start from about here to go to about there, I think, to get that level. Like I say, I'm not going to go crazy. This is going to be like a 2.5k car, but we just want it to look smart and tidy and not be absolutely full of filler. So while I've been waiting for the extra bit of filler I inevitably put on because it was bothering me, I've taken the brush and I've touched in all the chips on the back of the bumper, which I don't think looks too bad now. There's certainly nothing being drawn to the eye anymore. I haven't obviously given it machine polish, which will take off some of the other marks, but I think that's entirely acceptable. Marlowe's have got the paint match looking like it's okay. I've also managed to touch in the corners of the wing mirrors where they had some chips. There's a few more up there I can touch in, and yeah, the corner of that one. I started to make some progress on the big chip in the front of the bonnet, which I'm touching in as well. So keep yourself busy while I'm waiting for that fella to go off. I am kind of putting off getting sanding all this, to be honest, because obviously, like I said, I've got to do it all by hand, so I'm procrastinating a little bit on that. But yeah, all starting to come together. So I think we're about there with the repair on the wheel arch on the Nissan. It's never going to be 100% because obviously the metal was, when it was impacted, has bulged out in a couple of other places. So without a puller on it to pull it out straight again, completely straight, you're never going to get it perfect. But it certainly looks a hell of a lot more presentable than before, with the big dent in it. And now the lip of the door is level with the arch rather than sticking out like it was before quite badly. So a little bit more fiddling around with that. We're ready to go. All the tape is obviously to try and protect the paint the other side, so I don't have to repaint the edge of the door there. And obviously up here I don't really want to go into the quarter too much either. So we'll pull this tape off, have a look at how close it is, and then just do the final finishing touches on it. The rest of the car we've got to get round, quite a lot of sanding to do. Obviously, like I say, I haven't got my compressor, so I'm doing it by hand, old school again. So started to work on the corner down there, tidy that up. Did a little repair on the bottom of the bumper there. Got these bits to sand back, and obviously on the rear bumper I've got those bits to sand back, so crack on and work our way around with those. And this is where all the graft comes into it, guys. The paint takes next to no time. It's all the prep work that takes the time. Not too bad. Slightly wider just here if I was picky, and I am, so I'm probably going to put a bit more filler there. But now it's level, and this is obviously a rough sand at the moment. We'll go down with some smoother grades. Saturday, the little Citroen C1 has just sold. Lovely couple came up from Exeter. It was really cool actually, because the guy drives a moped to work and back, but said that he wanted to, we spoke on the phone before he came up, said that he wanted to have something that he wasn't going to get wet on during the winter, but he wanted just the cheapest thing to run back and forth to work on. I said literally a Citroen C1 is about as close to a moped as a car gets, with a little 3-cylinder on it, 1 litre, being super lightweight, so frugal on fuel. I said it literally is the moped equivalent in the car. And he came along, tried it, and said, yeah, you're bang on, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, lovely couple. They'll put the deposit down, pick it up next weekend, because I just need to get the stereo sorted, because unfortunately when I pulled the stereo out to have a look at why it wasn't working to put the new one in, I found that all the wiring is mullered behind where they've put an aftermarket stereo in. I had a feeling that might be the case because I was finding little bits of wire on the floor when I valeted it before. Unfortunately it's dirty from the test drive again now. Now I'm not a good wiring person. I don't know why I've got a mental blank with wiring, where I just kind of don't want to learn about it, because I just find it too scary. I should probably crack on and just get on with it, but I'm going to take it down to Stewpot. I'm going to have him wire in the new stereo and try and sort that out. So that's why they can't take it away today, and they're going to pick it up next weekend. Another funny thing, literally while they are doing the deal with me, a lady comes hanging around outside, and she's come up from Barnstable to try and get the Citroen C1, but she hadn't called in advance, unfortunately, and I'd have told her that there was a potential sale going on, so it was a bit of a wasted journey for her. But she was literally there to grab it if they didn't have it. And I had another phone call with another gentleman who wanted to see it later this afternoon. 47,000 miles on a 2012 2795. I think it probably would have been 3.5. It was a non-cat car, but it is really, really clean. I mean, there is a little bit of bodywork here, some reaction in the paint just there. Not that I did, I hasten to add, but I don't think it's going to get any worse. I think it's going to, and I've pointed it out to all the sellers that have come to see the vehicle. I've pointed that out so they're aware of it, but I don't want to go painting into a door there. That's too much work. And again, like I say, I've already discounted the price of nigh to a low price for the miles and for the spec. Super clean little car. Like I said, the young lady that sold it to me, she'd already MOT'd it, and she'd already had it serviced, and it was literally a couple of weeks ago, so we know it's good and safe to go out, and I've done a number of miles in it myself. So yeah, nice one there. That does leave me now, obviously, just with the Kia Rio being ready for sale. I've got to finish off the note inside, Now that the Dacia and the KA are back, I'm going to give the, I think I'll start with the KA because I don't need to do any paint on that. I just got to clean the bejesus out of it, change that radiator fan over, or see, is it the resistor like the Fiat 500 was the other day? It could be the resistors dropped down like the 500, and that's the reason for it making a noise. But I've also got to quiet down that clutch arm, which, like I say, I've got two choices: try and get oil down the clutch arm itself, or drill a inspection hole in a bell housing and then plug it with a gasket afterwards, because as we know, there's a lot of bell houses that have inspection holes in them. Doesn't do them any harm at all. I think I want to get a new badge for the front here as well. They just stick on just to tidy that up. Bodywork wise, this one was actually really good, actually, apart from that scratch there. I think the rest of the bodywork, there was a scratch there and a scratch here, but I've got the paint to touch in on that. Other than that, the bodywork was really good on it. It just needs a really good clean inside as well. So we'll crack on with that after we've done the note, and then we'll get on to the stepway. Again, we just got to get that bumper off, put the new clips on, touch in the paint, and that'll be ready to go. Now they've both got fresh MOTs on, times are ticking. I want them to be up for sale as soon as possible with the freshest MOT on. Busy, got to pick up some more cars. I'm going to look at a VW up tomorrow, private sale in Ilfracombe. There's a VW up that's going for a good price, to see if I can go and negotiate a strong price. I haven't done one of those before, quite fancy doing one. I know people like VW products and they're well thought of. They're quite pricey compared to the rest of this stuff I do, but it'll be, you know, you've got to give these things a go. So I'm hoping that one's got an MOT, and I'm hoping I can pick that up and just get it straight out, because I can't be doing body work on anything else at the moment. Kia Rio, still got that obviously. Had a couple of inquiries on it, but nothing's come through. I've got that for 2,795. Perhaps the sale price is 2,495, but I honestly think it's worth 2,795 all day long. I really do. But the market will decide on that. I'm not in a big hurry to sell cars because I've got such short stock at the moment, so I may well just keep that at 275, because I believe it's worth every penny, and let it stay there until that happens, or until I've got so much stock I can afford to discount it. Right, we're already in the afternoon and I need to get on with this. So I mean, obviously I touched in that bumper last night, didn't I, with a touch in paint. I actually think that's really good. I'm pleased with that. You have to get super close to start seeing it. It was peppered with the little chips, wasn't it? But I've saved myself having to paint the entire bumper now. I think it looks really smart. You'd have to go looking for it now. So I really just need to crack on and sand this stuff that's been on for a couple of days now. Sand this back and get painting and do my final fettling on the rear quarter. I did, like I said, I did put a little bit more filler in where I said I thought I wasn't quite happy with it, just a little bit there, so I just got to flatten that down. But if you look at it from this angle now, it is completely level. Right, let's talk in more work, but that might have to be for the next video because this one's getting a little bit long now. So if you aren't already, hit that subscribe button down below for the next instalment of Chop's Garage to see how we get on finishing off the note, how we get on prepping the other cars, and see how quickly those sell. Because we're having a bumper month, we need to, again, for a second month in a row, we need to get these cars ready, so let's get cracking. But that's going to be on the next video, so hit that subscribe button. If you've enjoyed it, hit that like button for me, and as always, massive thanks to everyone for watching and for all the encouraging comments and so forth. It is really appreciated. Catch you later.